Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Make It Happen, the premier sports radio show featuring high school and youth sports in the Burlington County and South Jersey area. Good to be with you tonight. Ben, welcome back.
Thanks, Tim. How you doing?
Good. Luke, welcome back. How we doing?
Tim, how are you?
We're doing great tonight. You know, it's a good weekend. You guys have a good weekend?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Went to the Penn State Temple game this weekend.
Yeah. Penn State got a little lucky there in the end.
Lucky ain't
Actually,
the word.
they got a lot of lucky there in the end.
Yeah, lucky ain't the word for it. My God.
Luke, did you have a good weekend? Yeah?
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm really excited tonight. We have a great guest on, a guy by the name of Scott Hunter. Scott's going to be calling in around 10 after the hour, and Scott is currently the Northeast Regional Scouting Supervisor for the New York Mets, and you know he's really got a lot of insight. I've got to know Scott over the last couple weeks, so we're really excited about having him on the air. And also tonight we are going to begin our second season of announcing our Outstanding Student Athlete of the Week, and we have a great young lady from Eastern Regional, and we're going to get to her probably around the 7:45, 7:50 hour. I want to remind all our listeners that feel free to call in at any time, offer any type of questions or insight. Our call-in number is 609-447-0236. That's 609-447-0236. Hi, Scott. How we doing?
Not too bad. I figured everything out. We got on a good line, and here I am. I'm yours.
Scott, we are actually thrilled here at Wi-Fi 1460 to have you on the air. We gave it a little bit of a brief profile. You know, Scott Hunter is currently the Northeast Regional Scouting Supervisor for the New York Mets. He covers the Northeast. He covers Canada and Puerto Rico. There's a lot of miles on that car, huh, Scott?
Oh yeah, cars and the airplane. I guess I logged so many miles this off season. My wife's looking to take a trip, but this time of year, I like being at home. Unfortunately, I'm home too much since our big league team isn't in the playoffs right now. So living in the Philadelphia area, it's fun to watch the Phillies, but hurts a little bit for the 9-to-5 job, so to speak.
That's right. Mm-hmm. No, Scott also was a former member of the New York Mets. He was the two-time New York Mets most valuable player in the minor leagues, three-time minor league All-Star, 1993 fifth-round draft pick of the Dodgers, and 1993 USA Today All-American. Scott, you got one heck of a background, I'll tell you. Let's, again, it's great to have you on, and so let's start talking about baseball.
Great.
Now, you've been around baseball a long time. You've been, obviously, as a player, as a coach, and now in scouting. What are some of the changes that you see in the player development area today?
Well, you know what? Everything's getting so specialized these days is the hard thing. Not hard thing, but interesting thing for me. I mean, there's so much information with the Internet, professional instructors, I guess I can include myself in that in the wintertime doing lessons, but everything, no matter where you go in the country, you're missing out on the three-sport athlete now. A lot of guys are getting so competitive and playing baseball year-round, you're just seeing people focusing on one sport, either being baseball, football, basketball, and, I think the game probably has taken a little bit of a setback because you lose some athletes now that aren't doing other things. The football players are not playing as much baseball, but in the big picture, it is what it is, and you got to go ride the times, I guess. But travel baseball and the one sport athlete is king now.
You know what? You mentioned an excellent point, and that's some of the things that we've been stressing with some of the college coaches that have been on the show. Is we don't have the three-sport athlete, and you rarely have the two-sport athlete anymore. But taking from your position, that two-sport athlete, baseball, basketball, doesn't that help you with evaluations in terms of athleticism?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I mean, I would never tell a kid they should just focus on. I mean, I deal with families every off season and asking me that same question. My son plays football. He wants to play football, but is he going to miss out on playing baseball in the fall? The biggest thing for me when I evaluate a player, when I go to a high school or a college is, I ask that question, have you played other sports? I mean, we can name kids from the Jersey area that have have done both and that have done just one sport. And you always look at the kid that has done, 2 and 3 sports in high school, and you're evaluating for Major League Baseball or college. You take that kid from a cold weather area that's played 3 sports and maybe played 35 games of high school baseball during the course of the summer and the season. You take him, 2 years down the line when he's playing every day, he's going to be 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of those guys that, for years and years just stayed in that one sport mode down there in Florida and those warmer weather climates. I mean, our kids are up against enough as it is here in the cold weather because they get limited looks by colleges, they get limited time on the field. But when, you have a good evaluator, if I was a college recruiter, I'd go in those cold weathers and find some of the best athletes I could and then, say, hey, we're gonna take you into our program. You're gonna just play baseball and see what happens in 3 years. And you can almost guarantee you they'll take 2 and 3 steps ahead of those kids that were just baseball only.
Well, Scott, the thing is when you get the athletes the 3-sport athletes versus the 1 or the 2-sport athletes, a lot of the time they might just gravitate towards one sport like baseball or wrestling or football. And after maybe 2 or 3 years, they'll get sick of it. It's the same routine every day for 3 years rather than switching it up, playing something that you think is more fun rather than you take more seriously. So you could also lose players in that sense. You really want them to get them to play all sports.
No, and I agree with that. I mean, I was a 2-sport athlete and even 3 at times. I mean, our high school track coach in the winter would have me run indoor track, which, I could run. So they said, hey, come run. So I'd show up and just run the 60-yard dash because I couldn't go any further than that without keeling over. But,
hey, it's an extra workout. There you go.
Scott, you only had to run. You only had to run from home to first, too, right?
Yeah, exactly. In football, short bursts. But, I was fortunate that, I was, recruited as a high school baseball player and football player at one point. I had some scholarship offers to play football as well. But when I look at it is, I always look for the end of the summer. In high school, I played for 3 and 4 teams at one point, and by mid-August, I remember telling my parents, I just can't wait for football to start, just to get away from the same grind, and you almost get burnt out when you play too much of one thing.
Yep, definitely.
Now, one of the things I've always told student athletes and actually parents and anybody who will listen to me, which once in a while they might. But you know what? If you really look at the major league players, you look at a lot of these guys, baseball players. And if you look at their background, were high-dimension, high-profile high school athletes in other sports.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You look at a lot of the premier athletes, they either basketball players or football players at one point. And I'm nothing against just the one-sport athlete because, it's the way our time's going. But I had quite a few good conversations with some of our development staff that are coordinators in our minor league system. And they, some guys I played with, some guys I even played under when they were my coaches, and they would ask me, when you go out scouting, do you ever notice a difference with a kid that maybe played some football and baseball? And my first thing is, I love it. I said, one, they always seem to be a little tougher. They can take the nicks and bruises and playing every day because they're used to getting beat up on the football field. And 2, you take that kid that, has only been playing baseball part-time, and you put them on the field, next thing you know, as I said, 3 years later, they've gotten that much better because they've dedicated their time just to the sport.
At this part, we're running out of time here, but, we have a special part of our program, and that's the outstanding student athlete. And we have somebody very special tonight. Her name is Kaitlin Ogg. Kaitlin is a senior at Eastern Regional High School. She plays lacrosse, and when you talk about Luke, you were reading her resume. You talk about an outstanding academic athletic person. Kaitlin has just done a remarkable job. She has a 98.7 GPA on based on 100. It's a 4.0 scale. Yeah, wow. Ben, I see you're drawing over there on that one. She, her SAT scores are 1840, National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, honor all marking periods all the way through her freshman year to her senior year. Her athletic, profile is just the same. She was the, Eastern Regional Field Hockey. They were champions. In addition to, everything else that she's done, all conference first team, conference, 2011 all South Jersey. She was the 2011 MVP for Eastern Regional, 3-year varsity starter at Eastern, leading scorer her sophomore year, leading scorer her junior year. So, our outstanding student athlete for this week goes out to Kaitlin Kaitlin Ogg of Eastern Regional High School.
Congratulations, Kaitlin.
Kaitlin, we want to give you, congratulations, and also, in honor, we are going to be sending you a plaque for your outstanding achievements, and you're going to be on YouTube, right? You're going to be announced over YouTube, and 56,000 people have heard your name, and a couple million more around the internet. Congratulations, Kaitlin. And I want to thank you everyone for listening to us, especially to Scott Hunter for being our special guest. Ben, Luke, we'll see you again next week.
Yep.
Here on Wi-Fi 1460 AM or online, Wi-Fi 1460am.com. Have a good week, everyone.